So we're in the barn, got the Toyota in here, and we'll do a little back history on this truck. So this truck had been on Marketplace for a little bit, and it says from California. And I live in Ohio, and here in Ohio, all the Toyotas that are from Ohio, they're junk. They're rotted out, the parts on them aren't even worth anything because they're so rusty anymore. And I saw this truck from California, and I decided that I had to have it. I sent it to the wife a couple months prior, and maybe about a month prior. And it was still on there. I was like, this truck's only 30 minutes from the house. We gotta at least go look at this truck and check it out, because it's pretty cool. And needless to say, I ended up coming home with the truck. So we'll show you guys what this truck is. I'm pretty excited about this truck. I can't wait to get it running. Hopefully everything I found out about this truck, which I'll tell you some history about it that I found, we'll get into it. So here it is in all its glory. I believe it's an 89. I'm not even 100% sure on that. Really wasn't concerned about that because, like I said, it's a clean truck. Some of you guys are spoiled by this, but I mean, that is just, you don't see that in Ohio. So it's an 89, I think. And this is what really caught my eye when I first saw this truck on Marketplace. So it's some sort of long travel setup. I don't know what it is. And I know it's not like super crazy long travel or anything like that. It's not a full-on trophy truck, but I'm just looking for something to be a fun daily driver, toy, just zoot around, and it'll be cool when it's all finished. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to paint this truck like the old Ivan Stewart truck. I want to put some shackles in the rear to raise the rear up a little bit. Yeah, so we'll dig into this thing a little bit and kind of what we've discovered so far with it. So right off the rip, there's a roll cage. It's a pretty nicely done roll cage. There's a couple spots that need finish welded. There is some rust in the A-pillar. It's kind of from what I've seen so far, that's kind of more of an out west thing. For them to be rusty right there. So we kind of started looking at the truck. It's got a roll cage. The cab's black. The bed's white. The hood's white. Both front fenders are broken. And it's got this nice scuff across the hood and fender. So me and my buddy were standing in the driveway and we were talking one night. We started discussing. We're like, you know what? I think this truck's been rolled. Because the bed's kind of beat up. And that's the only thing that we can put together. It's why the cab's black and why it has a roll cage. Is they rolled the truck, it flattened the cab, and they hung a new cab on the truck and put a roll cage in because they didn't want it to happen again. So when I went to look at this truck, it's not running right now. That's why we had to pull it in here. It's not getting fuel. I got it to fire on starting fluid, and it wasn't very long, just enough to kind of hear it bark off pretty much. But I took a gamble because, so you'll notice the LC Engineering sticker on the dash. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, anyone could put a sticker on the dash. Yeah, they can. I've done it. But when you pop the hood, and you start looking around under the hood, it's got an Optima battery in it, which, okay, that's just a battery. But then you start looking. There's LC Engineering intake boots. There's an LC Engineering intake itself. There's an LC Engineering header. The valve cover is gloss black, like fresh black. And then I noticed the MSD coil over there on the fender. At least I think it's MSD. I believe it is. And when I was looking at the truck, so there's some parts sitting on the passenger seat, which obviously is always concerning. There's an LC Engineering throttle body. So someone spent some money in this thing. So I was like, all right, I'm taking a gamble. I'm gonna buy a truck, not running, and see what happens. Upon getting the truck home, I would start going through the glove box, and I found a whole stack of receipts for this truck. And one of which was the one that I was really hoping I was going to find. So this motor allegedly is I'm not going to say built, but it's got some goodies in it from LC Engineering. It's got a dual row timing chain. It's 40 over. It's got a cam in it. It's got an LC Engineering head. Just rebuilt and done up nicely, is what we'll say. So I can't wait to hear it run. That was kind of part of the gamble, was kind of thinking there's some LC Engineering goodies in there with everything else I was looking at with the truck. So far, we got hopefully a good motor, some cool suspension, a roll cage, which I think I'm going to do some repairing on this A-pillar. And when I do that, I'm going to pull the windshield out and I'm going to finish weld some of the sections of the cage. Then I might steal a steering wheel for my Toyota. I don't know yet. But, oh, and then this is the other thing. It's been a long time since I've driven sorry, we'll get that out of there. It's been a long time since I've driven a two-wheel drive Toyota. But, the stick looks a little different. And then the throw of the shifter seems really short. Like maybe someone did a short throw shifter in it as well. I don't know. I don't know what all to expect with this thing once I get it up and running. We got some stuff to address. There's no radio and all these wires are melted. We got wires behind here. I don't fully know what's going on here. We might, hopefully we didn't bite off more than we can chew here. I'd hate to have to do a whole wiring harness in this truck. If that's the case, I might have one. Hope not, but we'll just have to see. Oh, and then the back of the cab's cut too. I'm still debating on what to do there. I don't know if I want to cut those tubes down and I have another truck out back that's an Ohio truck that's junk. If I'm gonna patch this section of the cab, like I said, I'm gonna try the A-pillar. I've never done body work, but I'm gonna cut out a whole A-pillar. I'm gonna try and section this one and just do the outer skin of the A-pillar. I think that's my plan. It might change. I might not even paint the truck. I don't know. I'd like to paint the truck. I got so many different ideas. I got wheels sitting up there I'd like to use, but they're kind of wide. But maybe I don't go full prerunner look. Maybe I just make it a sweet daily driver. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all this thing is going to be, is something fun you can kind of beat on and just, yeah, bash around with. we'll see. All right, so update, truck runs. It's pretty cool. Went to O'Reilly's and got a fuel pump, and the fuel pump that, according to the year of the truck's 89. So we got to O'Reilly's and we took the old fuel pump with us, and the fuel pump that was in the truck was not an 89 fuel pump. So it was way different. So I was like, well, I guess look up a 94 fuel pump, because that would be the complete opposite end of the spectrum fuel pump. And sure enough, it's a 93, 94 fuel pump that's in this truck. So I don't know what sort of wiring harness is in this truck, but the 94 fuel pump went right in, and the truck runs now. So when we first got it back together, got it fired up, had a check engine light, started looking, it had a miss. Well, the clip is broken on the TPS sensor. Oh, there it is, check engine light. Plugged the TPS back in. Smooth out. No check engine light. So, gotta put the bed back on it. I gotta put all the bolts back in the fuel pump. I just got 2 in there right now. There's a couple missing. I don't know if they're broken off or if they're just missing. I'll have to dig into that. But the truck runs, so that's pretty big. I don't think the oil pressure gauge works, because let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the oil pressure gauge. Doesn't work. But truck runs, so now we'll get some other stuff sorted out. Pretty excited. So I got a little excited whenever I said that we got the pre-runner running. It does run, however, we're having some issues with it. It does not want to run nice. It stalls whenever you put any sort of load on it. It just, I went to drive it to one night around the yard, and it just, anytime you put it under any load, it just shut off. At one point, it wouldn't start again. So we got some other issues going on. So we'll kind of dig into that here real quick. So one of the things I noticed was when the truck's running and you turn the headlights on or the blower mode or anything that puts any draw on the charging system, the truck shuts off. So either we got a bad alternator, we got some wiring issues going on, or potentially some grounds. And I'm hoping it's grounds, because I started digging into it and it looks like there's only one ground coming off the battery. I believe there's supposed to be a factory ground on that bolt right there that goes to the motor. So I'm hoping that we just don't have enough grounds going on. I got the truck on the charge right now. Haven't messed with it in a while. I still don't have time to mess with it. See if it'll do it right now. It might not even start. I was having an issue with the starter now. So if we zoom in on the voltage gauge, might not do it right now because it's on the charger still, but there it goes. And then it just shuts off. So we got something going on. So we'll have to dig into that at some point and figure out what's going on. I've been busy working on this. This is my 97 Ford. It's got the 7.3 power stroke in it. And just been doing a lot of work to it lately. and we'll do another video on this later. But hopefully in the final stages of this process. So we're not going to do a full video on me working on this truck. There's plenty of videos out there once I get into all the details of what we've done to it. But that's what's been taking up all the time right now. Haven't had time to even mess with this. So that being said, once this is out of here, we're gonna do a video on this truck. Once we get everything cleaned up, we need to get this thing cleaned up and just kind of go over it. But we're gonna do a video on the build of this truck. Just go over some of the parts and the process that it took to get it to this point. And then at some point we will probably have more on the Samurai buggy. And then the wife's 4Runner, which plans have changed drastically for this one. So stay tuned. Let me know what you guys want to see. We got some big plans for this coming up. So it's gonna be a lot more work than we originally anticipated. But that one, it'll be pretty cool when it's all done. We'll be able to take the kids wheeling. So yeah, stuff's coming up. Let me know what you guys want to see. Like I said, I got to get this thing out of here. Then we're going to do a video on this and see how all the upgrades, if it was worth all the time and money we put into it. So just stay tuned. Thanks for watching.